Good evening from New York. I'm Lawrence O'Donnell in for Keith Olbermann. Tomorrow, the single most controversial real element of health care reform goes on the line as the Senate Finance Committee finally debates whether to give Americans an affordable, reliable alternative to profit-driven health insurance. And in our number 5 story tonight, now it is the left firing warning shots to Democrats. If you don't stand up for the public option, you'll have to stand up to us. Last week, Democratic Senator Jay Rockefeller said he will bring the public option up for debate and vote in the Senate Finance Committee. In the meantime, several developments, among them a health care fair held by TV's Dr. Mehmet Oz, offering checkups and care to those who need it. Almost 1,800 turned out, a record, Oz said. And not surprising, since it was held in Texas, where a higher percentage of people lack health insurance than in any other state. But if the record-setting plight of their constituents fails to move Texas Republicans, several liberal groups are hoping home state pressure will move Democrats to support a public option. Foremost among them, Max Baucus of Montana, the finance chairman, who did not include a public option in his version of the bill, which is why Senator Rockefeller has to fight for it tomorrow. 2 progressive groups will launch a new ad in Montana and in D.C. hitting Baucus from the left for failing to back a public option.
My name is Bing Perrin, and I live here in Billings, Montana with my beautiful wife and baby boy. Last June, I collapsed because of congenital heart problems. I need open heart surgery, but have no insurance, and no company will insure me. My friends and family have been a blessing. With hearts as big as the Montana sky, they've helped with bake sales and benefits. But my wife and I still owe over $100,000 in medical bills. None of this debt would have piled up if I had had the option of buying into a public health insurance plan. Private insurance companies need competition. They profit by denying care to people like me. Senator Baucus, when you take millions of dollars from health and insurance interests that oppose reform, and oppose giving families like mine the choice of a public option, I have to ask, whose side are you on?
The Progressive Change Campaign Committee and Democracy for America are responsible for the content of this advertising.
Democratic Congressman Jim Cooper, meanwhile, getting even tougher pushback for not backing a public option, as a political action committee led by progressive leaders from Daly Coast and Fire Dog Lake are now recruiting candidates to challenge Cooper in next year's primaries. Robert Pear in the New York Times today reports that the final Senate bill, the version Majority Leader Harry Reid will cobble together from the Health Committee bill and the Finance Committee bill, will not include a public option, according to unnamed senior Democratic Senate aides. Responding to the story, a spokesman for Senator Reid said any such decision would prejudice tomorrow's outcome for the public option. Okay, but will it be in the final Senate version? Reid's spokesman said, quote, "We don't know." Let's bring in Dr. Howard Dean, former governor of Vermont and chairman of the Democratic Party, author of Howard Dean's Prescription for Real Health Care Reform. Thanks for joining us tonight, Doctor.
Thanks, Lawrence.
Governor Dean, is there any reason to think the public option really has a shot this week in the Senate? You have unnamed Senate sources saying it will not be in the final bill, and then the best Senator Reid's spokesman can come up with is, I don't know, to the question of whether it will be in the final bill. What's your guess here?
Well, look, this is a bill that George Bush would love. It's a massive redistribution of government taxpayers' money to the insurance industry. Exactly the same thing that was going on in the banking industry and other industries on Wall Street. It is a bad bill, this Finance Committee bill. It doesn't insure people, and it spends an awful lot of money, and it gives it away to the insurance companies. So I do think ultimately the bill will have a public option in it, because I don't think the Democratic Party is going to stand for this.
What's your theory about how you get it? If Jay Rockefeller doesn't succeed tomorrow, if they then go to the Senate floor without it, do you think it gets amended into the bill on the Senate floor? How will they get it?
Well, first of all, there's no reason to go to the floor without it. You've already had one committee that's acted on this, Chris Dodd's committee, that has done the right thing and put in a public option. So there's no reason you shouldn't have it in the public bill. There will be a vote, and we think that there are 51 or 52 senators, Democratic senators, who will vote for some sort of public option. That is really essential. If you don't have a public option, you are wasting nearly $1 trillion of government money and giving it to the health insurance industry. I think that is a terrible mistake. I know very well that is not what President Obama planned on when he was campaigning. And we have just got to get the 51 votes in the Senate in order to get this done. And I think we will.
Now, put on your hat as former chairman of the DNC. How do you feel about seeing Democrats attack Democrats politically over this, and some people trying to get up primary challenges against congressmen like Jim Cooper in Tennessee? Is that something you would advise against as ultimately self-destructive, or is this a way to get what some might think of as stronger Democrats in those seats?
Well, look, here's the problem. The problem is we have a very big majority. But if you don't use your majority, you lose your majority. And that's exactly what's happening right now in the Democratic Party. There is no reason. 65% of the people, Lawrence, 65% of the American people in a CBS poll that was put out a couple of days ago want a public option. A public option is simply allowing people to sign up for Medicare if they're under 65. That's a very good public option. And there's no reason, I don't understand why these senators aren't voting for what 65% of their constituents want. That is what I don't understand. And of course, people are going to be upset if they ask you to do something. They're paying your salary, and you're voting with the people who give you huge campaign contributions. Of course, people are going to get upset about that. So, as former DNC chair, I hate to see this happen in the Democratic Party, but I would just ask the senators: look, we've been through a tough time together. We worked really hard together to get you a majority. Please use your majority for the people of this country, not for the insurance industry.
Now, no one has better sources on this than Robert Pear of the New York Times, and he's also reporting today that Harry Reid intends to defer to President Obama on the tough calls about what should go into the Senate bill that he brings out onto the Senate floor. So isn't the White House where all this energy should be focused right now? I mean, Jim Cooper in the House, you can pass a bill with or without him. He doesn't matter compared to what Rahm Emanuel and President Obama are deciding in that White House should be in the Senate bill in order to get to final passage. So again, isn't that where the attention should be now?
The intentions, every Democrat's going to sink or swim together on this. If we pass a bill that's just a big giveaway to the insurance industry, which is what the Senate's working on right now, every Democrat will suffer, from President Obama right down to even Democrats who vote for the right thing will suffer. We're all in this together in the Democratic Party, and we've got to do the right thing here.
Step me through a scenario in which a bill comes to the Senate floor that for the final vote on it is a bill that you oppose. It has no public option, no real cost controls, no ability to really subsidize insurance at the level it would need to be subsidized to make it affordable. And if you end up recommending a vote against that, and let's say the vote against that carries on the Senate floor, do you then expect that this whole thing could be picked up and started over again and maybe passed next year?
No. What I would do if that were to happen is I would hope that people would strip out the money from the bill, because it's stupid to give $60 billion of taxpayers' money to the insurance industry every year, and pass the insurance reform. There is good insurance reform in this bill in all the 5 committees that have been in it, the Finance Committee and the Health Committee and the 3 committees in the House. This is stuff that we did 15 years ago when I was governor of Vermont, guaranteed issue and community rating. It won't insure a lot more people, but it will stop the insurance companies from kicking people off their roles as they do now. So there is some good stuff in this bill. It's just not worth spending all that taxpayer money on.
Former Vermont Governor Howard Dean, great. Thanks for your time tonight.
Thanks for having me on.